what do you want your life to look like? You see, I know that I have a certain vision for my life, and you probably have a vision for your life as well. I want you to think about what that really looks like and whether or not that vision is something that you actually want deep down, or if that vision is being created by outside forces. Are you doing it for yourself, or are you trying to prove other people wrong or that you're capable of doing something? My vision for my life looks pretty simple. I want to be free. Freedom is my number one value. If there was a hierarchy of values, freedom is at the top. I don't want to ever answer to anyone. I want to live on my own. I want to be able to travel wherever I want, whenever I want. And that's the kind of life I want. I don't want to be landlocked. And I'm going to talk about working for a second. I certainly don't want to be capped with my income potential, right? When you work for someone, you are capped on the amount of income you can make, right? Your performance doesn't increase your income in a lot of professions, right? The only real professions where your income isn't capped is in commission-based sales and being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. So I know that that's the life that I want. And like I just gave those two examples, those are the paths that I have to go down, either be in sales or be an entrepreneur. And, I've definitely, always focused on those two things. I can't imagine just getting an office job out of college like a lot of kids do. That's all they're thinking about. They're thinking about, I know a lot of kids who want to get into finance because they're like, oh, that's the highest paying job, right? And you see what that does to you when you're just thinking about the highest paying job. You're not thinking about the longer term vision about what you want your life to look like. You're just getting into a job because you think it's going to make you some money, right? And you can make a lot of money being in investment banking, right? And I have no problem with anyone who wants to go down that field. But I'll just let you know right now, if that's a field you've considered going down, think about why you've considered going down it. I know a lot of people who want to go down that path for the money. They will fail. If that's you, you will fail. If you're just going down the path for the money. The greatest people in that profession are obsessed. They are obsessed with becoming the best, and they love the subject. They love finance, right? It's hard to believe that someone could be obsessed and passionate about finance, but it's true. The people who are at the top of their field, they got there because they had that obsession. And they loved what they did, and they love what they're still doing. If you're just going down a path to make money, you will lose. Now, for me personally, I know that I want to make a lot of money in my life, but it's for a reason. I see the most influential people on the planet. And money is a vehicle to influence, to have power, to do things that you think are right in this world, to make a big difference, right? The more money you have, the bigger a difference you can make on a macro global scale. And I heard someone say to me recently, like, you can just make a difference by being a good person and, doing that in your day-to-day life. And no offense, but I hate the sound of that. I hate the sound of just walking around in my daily life saying that I'm doing right by myself, right, is making a big difference in the world. It's not. That's in my view, that could be seen as a little selfish to just say, yeah, I'm going to do right by the world by, being a good person in my own little, just by the actions I take every day. And that's so small-minded. I have a much bigger vision of things I want to change in this world, the kind of influence I want to have. I see a lot of things going in the wrong direction in this world, whether it be economic or social, especially in the United States. I mean, this place is just, it's unbelievable what's been happening the past few years. just watching politics, watching our society crumbling before my eyes. I feel like it's my obligation to step up and do something about that. And money's the vehicle to do so, right? But money isn't the end goal. The end goal is impact. It is making a difference. And right now it's trying to find the vehicle that I can be passionate enough about to make that amount of money, right? Most people who become multi-millionaires, billionaires even, they got there because they were obsessed about their subject. They were passionate about it in many cases, almost all cases. There are some cases, I will give it to you, where sheer greed and some kind of sickness within someone to amass a lot of wealth is the reason they got there. But that's a minority of them. Most of the people who are ultra successful, the Zuckerbergs, the Gateses, Bezos, Musk. I mean, these guys got there because they were so passionate about their subject. It was all they could think about. They worked on it all day, day in and day out. And that's why they got to where they are. It wasn't sheer greed. It wasn't, I'm going to be worth, Elon Musk wasn't thinking to himself, I want to be worth $250 billion. Okay? He just loved what he was doing. He loved Tesla. He loved SpaceX. Right? He loves computers. And basically the obsessions and the passions that he has, he's just lucky to be obsessed with something that makes him that much money. He's obsessed with something that's super high value, very high value skill, right? Musk, he's been, someone who has been an early pioneer in AI as well, started OpenAI. A lot of people forget that. Elon got there because of his passion and a sickening obsession with changing the world. And he took on that obligation, working 18 hours a day. I listened to him a lot about how he faced a choice in 2008. Both companies were on the verge of bankruptcy, and he had the opportunity to either save one or the other with the remaining money he had, but he decided to split that money in half and risk losing both. And they both lived on, both the businesses. And man, when I listen to that story, I mean, it gets me emotional, man. Like just listening to that man, really having that passion and that desire. He wouldn't let his business die. He related the business to like being like a kid. He's like, I wouldn't let one of my children starve, so why would I let one of my businesses starve? That's passion. I know what I want my life to look like. I have a feeling that most of you don't know what you want your life to look like. If you're similar in age to me, at least 20 years old, maybe you have an idea of what you want your life to look like, but I have a feeling that it's been heavily influenced by outside forces. And look, you can't stop the influence of the outside from coming into your mind, right? We've all been influenced by somebody. That's why we are what we are, right? But if we can change who influences us and say, you know what, I'm only going to let the people that I look up to who, aspire to be like, influence me. And once you start doing that, you eradicate all of the nonsense that people tell you every day about living a safe, secure life, getting the paycheck, living in a decent apartment with a decent car, and living a decent life. And that's all you're going to get, decent, for your whole life. Does that sound good to you? It doesn't sound good to me. I don't want to be locked in one place. I want to be able to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and to live the life of my dreams, see this world in its entirety, right? I want to see every place on this planet by the time I die. A lot of people will never even venture out of their country. How sad is that? There's so much out there in this world that it has to offer. I've been fortunate to go to a few places in my life, and every time I've gone somewhere, it's inspired me so greatly. Went to Dubai, and going to that place, I mean, it's like I stepped into the future. I saw a society that was built from the ground up in the past, decade, 20 years. All the stuff that they've built, making it one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Unbelievable. Going there inspired me. Going to other countries as well. Going to Oslo, Norway. That place inspired me as well. Just the beauty of it, how clean it was, the nature. There's been other places in this world that have inspired me, and that's why I'm going to continue to travel and see the vast expanse of this world. Still haven't gone to Asia, Eastern Asia at least. That's next on my bucket list. I want to go to China very badly, one of the oldest civilizations in the world. So much history there, and it's a very powerful country now. Want to go to Japan. That's my vision for my life. I want to see it all, and I want to live a beautiful life, and I want to be happy in my life too. I don't want to chase happiness per se, but I want the things that I'm doing to fuel me, to give me energy, right? I want to derive a ton of energy from what I'm doing. I don't want to just be a one-trick pony. I don't want to be unidimensional. I want to understand a lot of things and have a vast depth of knowledge, which I think I've gained, in the past year. I've had all these opinions, and you're probably going to get these opinions too from outside people telling me what I should do in my life, that I should only focus on one thing, right? And only learn one thing, right? And become unidimensional. I think it's important to become a master at a subject if you want to become the best, but you need to learn other things as well. You need to have a foundation to work off of. You need to understand a lot of different things about, religion and this world and history, not just business or whatever field you're in, coding or whatever it is. You need to diversify your knowledge. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep learning, and every day I feel more powerful because I've learned something new. And I hope that you start developing that mindset. At the end of every day, think, what did I learn today that makes me a better person, that makes me more intelligent, that, is something that I am proud of and that I'm glad I learned, and which I can use to develop myself into the person I want to become and create the future I desire. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to learn more about me, you can click the links in my description, check out my Instagram, my site, business, whatever it is. And yeah, I'm really grateful for you being here, and I will see you in the next video. You got this. I'm a little tired today, but I put this out for you because I really care. And I know that in the long run, people are going to look back at these videos of me and want to understand how I got to where I am. And this is it. This is it. It's every day thinking hard, thinking long and hard. I do a lot of thinking. I do more thinking than I do work, I would say, thinking about what my next steps are, what are the best steps to take, and I'd encourage you to do the same. Anyways, thank you for being here, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.